Hello, good evening, and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation live with me, your host, Owen James. Guys, we are reflecting back on what has been an eventful week in the life of Rangers FC, and obviously looking ahead as well to a week with two games upcoming this week, a Thursday and a Sunday for Rangers, with Dundee United upcoming on the Sunday, but before that, a massive trip to Old Trafford in the Europa League on Thursday night. Good evening to everyone watching and everyone already commenting in the live chat, guys. Please remember, obviously, to smash that sub, like the video, comment, share, and do all that great stuff that helps the channel to succeed. Thank you very much for your support to this point, guys. Lots and lots of comments already coming in. Airwolf says, seen a few fans moaning about Dio and Bayrami's performances with Man Utd coming up. Players like that are always going to play within themselves. I think that's a fair assessment. I think, the other thing you've got to consider, and look, I hate saying this, but, it's one that's going to come out, isn't it? It is only Fraserburgh. It's not like it's, a Premier League game. It's not like it's a Europa game. It's not like it's an Old Firm game. At the end of the day, it is a Highland League side who are sitting somewhat ninth in their league. Not a good team, not a great team. I think, there's always going to be that, isn't there? You don't need, at the end of the day, to go out and bust a gut and give too much. And you need to do just enough to get by, really, in these games, especially, those regular first-teamers who don't want to put anything out there and don't want to risk anything, getting injured or getting suspended or anything like that. I don't know, mate. I didn't see the game. I watched it once I got back. Dio suspended for the Man United game, which is obviously bad news. Who plays beside Raskin? I think you'll probably say or see Connor Barron filling in there. I mean, that's a good shout. That's a good shout, Grant. I mean, I think, I've got to admit, when I saw the lineup, when the lineup was announced today, I've got to say that I was a little bit disappointed that there was no Bailey Rice in the starting lineup. I would have liked to have seen Bailey start. I mean, obviously chuffed for Bailey that he got on. He got minutes. He got on the pitch, as did obviously Finlay Curtis, as did Leon King. But I was a little bit disappointed, obviously, that Bailey doesn't get a bit of a run out and doesn't get a start. I think it's like a lot of you said last night. If you're Bailey Rice and you don't get the start against Fraserburgh, when are you going to get a start? When are you going to get the opportunity to play? I mean, that's got to be the question, isn't it? I agree that at that point. Today's game was just a training exercise. Can't look too much in it. It was a bit of a non-event. I think you're right. I mean, look, at the end of the day, whatever happened in this game, I think, Rangers got what I would say is a par result, a 5-0. I mean, it's kind of what was expected, really. I think, if any of us, kind of sat there and thought, well, 5-0's par, isn't it? It's kind of what you expect. Any less than 5, if we'd only gone and won that game 2-3-0 today, I think there'd been a lot of very disappointed fans, a lot of very angry fans as well, that we couldn't put away a team like Fraserburgh. I think realistically, looking back on the game, we probably could have scored a few more goals, and had Cyril Dessers not been Cyril Dessers, and perhaps if it had been Igman up top or Danilo up top, I honestly believe it's probably 9-9-0. That sitter that Dessers missed in the first half was an absolute joke. I mean, it just pretty much sums him up as a player. As for his hat trick, well, the first 2 goals, I'm not being funny, but I think my mum could have scored both of those goals. Rangers had 29 shots in the game, 9 shots on target, converted obviously 5 of the 9. It could have easily been a lot higher than that. I really do believe that, had Hamza started, I think it could have been 7-8, 9-0 easy to Rangers. I said Dessers is a bit of a joke, isn't he? Training games there, yeah, absolutely. It was a bit of a training game, wasn't it? Dessers' captain felt like a goodbye gesture. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? When assembling his IKEA furniture. Yeah, I mean, look, it's interesting, isn't it? Obviously, I mean, he gets a hat-trick today, and what, fair play to the lad. I mean, he scores a hat-trick. Well done, Cyril Dessers. Well done. You scored a hat-trick. Congratulations. Brilliant. Well done. But, at the end of the day, it's Fraserburgh. I mean, I'm not being funny, but has he found his standard? Is that his standard? If a player that's getting paid 27 grand a week to play in the Scottish Premier League and, to play in Europe for Rangers can't score goals against Fraserburgh, then you've pretty much got an issue there. So, look, yeah, he got a hat-trick. Well done on getting a hat-trick. I'm not going to give him massive props or praise because it's Fraserburgh. I mean, had he done it against Aberdeen or against Celtic or against Dundee United, then fair play. Then you get big props for scoring a hat-trick, but it's Fraserburgh. You know, I mean, I'm not being funny, but like I said, at least 2 out of those 3 chances, I think even my mum could have scored, to be honest with you. Airwolf makes a great point here, I think, in the live chat. Where does Dessa sit now? If you're him, are you asking for a loan or happy with what you've got? That's a good question. That is an excellent question. I mean, look, Bailey Rice today, like I said, I've got to say, I was a little bit disappointed with the whole situation with him not starting. I've got to admit, you know, when I saw the starting lineup today, I wasn't surprised. Obviously, Mason, good to see Mason Munn get a run out. You know, I think, you know, fair play to Mason. You know, he got a run out today. Nice to see him getting a game. Nice to see him out there. I think, you know, the lad's going to be a great goalkeeper going forward. He really is. And good to give him some first team experience. Back four, I think they're pretty much as expected. You know, I think the issue you've got at the moment is, you know, with Dujon Sterling injured, with Leon King not really been rated, with Robbie Fraser out on loan. You know, I don't think there's a great deal you can do there. You know, I don't. There's none of the youth prospects really massively stand out to me. Leighton Grant probably the only one. But, you know, no one really stands out coming through the B team. So in terms of the back four, you've got to say Tav, Proper, Nsiala and Hiefte pretty much picked themselves for today's game, didn't they? But in terms of Tav, I mean, look, let's face it, you kind of had to play Tav today, you know, to get him some first team minutes, to get his fitness back up. You know, he's missed a number of games. And, you know, realistically, you know, as much as you probably don't want him to start the Manchester United game and the Dundee United game at Tannadice, he's going to start those games. Why is he going to start those games? Because Sterling's injured again. And there is no one else. Obviously, Adam Devine, he's done. I think he's obviously off. He'll be gone in this window. Like I said, there really is nobody else. So you've got to kind of get him some first team minutes there. You've got to get his match legs back under him. You've got to get his fitness back up. You've got to get his sharpness back up because he's going to play over the next couple of weeks. He's going to play on Thursday. He's going to play on Sunday. So for me, you know, putting Tav on the right back, no surprise. Proper, bit of a surprise that Proper played today. I did think that he may have got rested today, but he's obviously back in the lineup. I think that is a bit of a kind of a nod to the fact that I think come Thursday night, it will be Proper and Balogun against Manchester United. Look, I think Nsiala did well today, but again, we've got to remember it's Fraserburgh. It's not, you know, Celtic or Aberdeen or Dundee United or you know, Manchester United or Spurs or Lyon. It's Fraserburgh. And Nsiala did well against Aberdeen, don't get me wrong. But, you know, looking ahead to the game on Thursday night at Old Trafford, I think you've got to kind of say that Proper, you know, obviously was getting him back out there, getting him, seeing how fit he is, seeing if he's fit enough to go. And then I think as well, you know, I think, like I said, Thursday night, it will be Proper and Balogun in central defence. I can't really see anything else. I mean, I could see Nsiala playing on Sunday against Dundee United because Big Leon can't play 3 games in a week. But I do think that Leon will play Thursday. Excuse me, sorry. Hefte at left back. I mean, again, no surprise there. I mean, you could have interchanged Hefte, Ridvan, you know, whatever. Barron and Dio, look, I mean, I've got to admit, Barron came in for Raskin, which, you know, is fair enough. I think, you know, as I said on the video yesterday, we don't need to see Raskin against Fraserburgh. We need to give him a rest. We need to get him, you know, recuperated, ready to go again on Thursday and on Sunday. So that's fair enough. Like I said, Dio coming and playing, I just thought, for me, why not play Bailey Rice? You know, give Dio a break, give him a rest. You know, yeah, he's suspended on Thursday, but obviously, you know, gets him time off ready for Sunday against Dundee United. But for me, again, I'd love to have seen Bailey get a run out. Zach Lovelace starts on the right. You know, nice to see Zach get a run out. Bayrami in the 10, not a surprise. McCausland, yeah, gets a run out. And Dessa's up top. You know, really wasn't surprised at that. I would have liked to see Lovelace up top, McCausland right, Finlay Curtis left. Finlay Curtis, of course, came on. I thought Finlay was good when he came on. Obviously, he played a part in setting up the McCausland goal. I thought he played very well indeed. I thought Finlay Curtis looks a good player. And, you know, I would like to see more of Finlay Curtis going forward. I think he's a very skillful player. And look, yes, you've got to obviously couch today's performance in terms of the fact it was Fraserburgh. It wasn't, you know, a top team. But I thought Finlay Curtis did well today. I thought he played well. I thought he showed good balance. He went past people. He passed well. He linked the play well. I thought Curtis was good. I thought he was really good. And, you know, kind of confirming what we've all kind of been saying for a long time now. Finlay Curtis is a player. He's a player. Grant says, it's not every day you get a chance to go to play at Ibrox. If you support Fraserburgh Bluebells, it's our day out for them. Correct. Rangers ladies today, obviously, congratulations to Rangers ladies today, progressing to the Sky Sports Cup final. But what made it even better was the fact they beat Celtic 2-1. It's getting to be a bit of a habit now, isn't it, beating Celtic? Obviously, the men's team win 3-0. The B team beat them in the Glasgow Cup, and then the ladies team beat them as well. So we've done the treble over Celtic. Dado says Dessa's concentration, that's what lets him down. I think that's a very good point. CGM55, welcome back to the channel, mate. Dessa's was Dessa's today. Mr. Sitter scored 3 harder chances. Would you say they were harder chances? I wouldn't say they were harder chances, CGM. I mean, the first one was a header. There was a free header. Like I said, I've been disappointed if my mum hadn't scored it. The second one kind of drops him in the box and he just puts his foot through it again. I suppose the third one was more tricky. The third one was a good finish, but the first two, like I said, I'd be disappointed if my mum missed those. If I'm his agent, Rant, I'm pushing for a loan. I mean, I think Bailey Rice, realistically, I think, you're probably looking at a loan spell for Bailey Rice because he isn't getting a lot of minutes, is he? He isn't getting a lot of minutes. I think that's obviously the concern. What's the point putting Ridvan at right back, Tav at centre half, and leaving King on the bench? I mean, that's a great shot. I think, CGM, I do watch and I do see some decisions that Philippe Clement makes, and I just genuinely sit there and think, why? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? I mean, there was those incidences, wasn't there, in games where we had Cass and Weirjo, where we had Cass, Dujon, and Tav all on the bench, all on the pitch at the same time, 3 right backs. Yeah, there is some very weird decisions. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you, Leon King, I think, needs to get a move away from the club now. I don't think Leon has any future at the club, in my opinion. I think the third goal was a good finish, mate. The third goal was a good finish. If he thinks he's good enough, So Dessa's promoted to captain for massaging Phil's privates, lol. NCR can't play against Man Utd anyway. Exactly. This is the point I'm making. It's Fraserburgh. And that's the thing. Tav had a terrible game strolling about. Yeah, look, Tav has to, I think, just get his fitness back up. So Dio can't play against Man Utd. That's the only reason he started. Yeah, but still, I do think, that did he really need to start? Have him on the bench, bring him on if you need to, but give Bailey Rice the minutes. What else have we got? We can't call our youngsters good as they have. Look, I'm not. Look, okay. Look, as I've said repeatedly, Blue Horizon. I've said that we have to put any praise that we give these players in the kind of level that it was Fraserburgh were playing. Like I said, it wasn't. It wasn't a league game, was it? Dessa's is. Yeah, I agree. Dessa's is still shit. Do you think the lack of structure in academy game, regular game, do you think badly damaged? It can't help, mate. It can't help. It really can't. I think we do need to have more of a structure. And hopefully this new taking that we discussed on the pod last night in terms of, sending players out on loan, obviously, I think, will help. King has no future here, but if he's on 8K a week, as reported, then nobody will take him. And he has, true. Yeah, I mean, loan him out. And obviously, then we pay part of his wages. I mean, that could be a way forward. But look, Leon King has no future at this club. He really doesn't. It's a good point from Bluebells here. Imagine King's confidence is getting decimated staying put. He really needs to get out on loan ASAP. Yeah, I mean, Leon King for me genuinely has no future in this club because, if you're Leon King and you're sitting there and you're looking at the team and you're looking at the fact that Dujon Sterling, who's a right back, is starting at. Is starting ahead of you in central defence. And then even in the game against Fraserburgh, where, we're playing a bunch of hammer throwers from the Highland League, you don't get a game. You don't get a start. I think you kind of got to look at it and think, I've got no future at this club. There's no place for me at this club anymore, and it's time for me to move on. And I know he's getting $8,000 a week, but you've got to look at it in terms of the fact that, does he want to be a footballer? Does he want to be a footballer or does he just want to sit on $8,000 a week? So at the end of the day, if he wants to be a footballer, he wants to start his career off and he wants to actually go and play football, he needs to get out because he ain't going to get a game here. I think, the whole situation is there's some around that Champions League performance. I think, physically, he's not a big physical centre-half, which we're kind of looking for at the moment. I just don't think he fits Phil's style of player either. So, I think that's probably why he doesn't get Luton Town inquiring about Lawrence and Dowell. I mean, fair enough. If they want Luton want them, they can have them. And I mean, let's face it, if Lawrence and Dowell want to go to one of the biggest shitholes in England, then feel free. I don't know if you know about Luton. Luton, the home of Tommy Robinson. Luton is just an absolute shithole. It really is. They're still playing that horrible little ground, Kenilworth Road. Loan them out and you will quickly find out who's got the talent, says Airwolf. Derby have no money. CGM wants to sit on £8 grand. Mate, I'd want to sit on £8 grand a week. But what I'm saying is, if you're a professional footballer, you know, and you actually want to play football, and Leon King's still a young lad, and he's still, you know, sort of developing in his career. You know, if you actually want to get first team football, then you know, at the end of the day, you really do need to go somewhere else to get that first team football, don't you? Actually, if you want to play, you know, you can earn all the money in the world, but do you really want to sit there for the rest of your contract and kind of rot? I don't know, for me. They need to go to the SPFL teams as well. Fraser, for example, playing in the Championship, how can he prove his worth against that level of opposition? Depends on who you loan them out to. Well, can't have them going to a team and getting beat every week. True. Janet says, if Clermont isn't going with the youngsters, he has to put them out on loan. He has to be open and honest with these boys and let them know if they have a chance at the Jers. Agreed. I think he does. 100%. You know, I would definitely loan them out. Luton isn't that type of van. Yes, it is a type of van, but it's also a shithole in the south of England. Larry, Larry did quickly get found out on loan. And look, I think that is the... he is injured, William. I do think that is the aim with what the new philosophy is in terms of sending these players out on loan now, in not using them in B-team games. You know, the B-team games on a whole are pretty meaningless, aren't they? They're pretty meaningless. You know, you look at the B-team games we play, you know, away at Derby. I think we played Villa, West Ham. Just games that realistically have got nothing riding on them. They're friendlies, you know, and they're not going to be played with the same intensity, the same, you know, kind of fire and passion as a first-team game. So you know, it's difficult, isn't it, to kind of, you know, to quantify and to look at that and say, you know, what does that actually do for those players? Does it turn them into good players? That, you know, sending them out on loan gets them competitive football, it gets them first team football, and we get to see whether they're any good. And look, like I said to you last night, you know, if you're Cole McKinnon and you go to Ayr United and you don't look like the best player at Ayr United and you don't play and you don't help Ayr United win games, then, you know, realistically, you've got to look at it and say, well, is Cole McKinnon good enough for Rangers? Because if he can't do it there, he ain't going to do it here. You know, that's the way you've got to kind of look at it. You know, what else have we got? Dado's mates, there we go, claim to fame. Larry got injured after a couple of months at Hearts, hardly got a chance in fairness. I mean, I think one thing we can kind of pick up, you know, from today's game, today's game is that Alex Lowry, you know, realistically doesn't have any future at the club now. You know, he didn't even get on the bench today. You know, he has no future. You know, he has absolutely no future. You know, so I do believe that that is the end of Alex Lowry at Rangers. Obviously, you know, I don't think he obviously has any future now. I think there is a lot of truth in the rumours that are currently going around regarding an exit for Alex in January, but certainly obviously at the end of the season once he's out of contract. You know, I think Alex Lowry realistically now, you know, no matter what you think of Alex, you know, and Alex, you know, no one really knows what the situation is with Alex Lowry. What has stopped him from kicking on? What has stopped him from becoming the player that I think everyone thought he could be? You know, obviously losing his mum is a massive thing. I think he has got some sort of issue with attitude, I do believe. So, you know, I think there is obviously an issue with Alex. But, you know, if Alex wants to prove himself, he's now got to get a move away somewhere. I honestly believe if he goes down south, it'll be better for Alex because, you know, he's away from the Goldfish Bowl of Glasgow. He's away from the whole situation. So I think, you know, that would probably be better for Alex in the long run. CGM says, I do think Fraser and McKinnon are better in the better than the Championship. An SPL club like Ross County would have been better. I mean, yeah, fair enough. I mean, you know, getting them a loan to Ross County or to St Johnstone or to Motherwell, like I did with Adam Devine last season, yeah, that's a decent shout, mate. That's a decent shout. But, you know, obviously, it's who wants them. It's who comes in for them. It's who offers you the best terms to take your player on loan, isn't it? So, you know, maybe obviously Ayr and Livy came in and offered better terms, or perhaps they were the only ones offering. I don't know. But, yeah, I agree. I mean, realistically, I would actually like to see a lot of these players loaned down south. I'd like to see them loaned to Championship clubs and League One clubs. I think they'd get a far better football education, you know, down here in England playing League One, playing in the Championship in England. I mean, if you get a move to a Championship club in England, you're coming up against some pretty decent footballers in the Championship these days. So, that obviously I think should be something also that Rangers are looking at. Can we loan players to the English Championship? And I know we have in Ben Davies, but I'm talking about some of the young players. Can we get them down south? Can we get them to some of the clubs in the English Championship and get them to get minutes down there? I think it would help. I really do. Diamanda suspended. Ansiala and Hadji aren't available at this stage of the Europa League. Barron, Dessers and Balogun to come in. I don't think he'll go with Dessers on Thursday, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think he is. I don't think he'll play against Man United, no. If I'm a scout for a League Two English side, we'll be poaching some of the talent. Good shout. Hypothetically, the board can afford it, which they probably can't. Would you pay $3 million or $4 million for Lennon Miller? Yeah, I would buy Lennon Miller. I would buy Lennon, but I don't think that Lennon Miller is a realistic option now. I think Lennon Miller was a realistic option in the summer. I think he was a realistic possibility to buy in the summer, but now I think he's obviously become a Motherwell regular. He's captained the team on a number of occasions. There's English clubs sniffing around him, and the moment Motherwell find out there's the likes of Newcastle, Spurs, and Manchester and Liverpool sniffing around him, they start seeing pound signs in their eyes. At the end of the day, you're going to get more money out of Liverpool, Newcastle, or Tottenham than you're going to get out of Rangers or Celtic. So realistically, they're going to be looking down south for him now. And we all know that Lennon won't move in the January transfer window. We know he's out till pretty much the end of February. So most teams are not going to pay money for a player who they're not going to get to see until the end of February. So I do think any move for Lennon Miller would be in the summer if it came over. Ridvan, Bayrami and Cherny behind Igman, I think, on Thursday. Same as against Spurs, says Scott. Wouldn't surprise me if Dessers plays a blinder at Old Trafford. I don't think he'll play. He won't play, Alan. I don't think he'll play. Janet says Dessers is an enigma, but if we didn't get anyone, we're going with Hamza. I'd keep Dessers until the summer. At least he's on the bench if we're desperate, I suppose. He is in. William Igman is registered for Europe. He scored against Nice, remember? Igman is registered for Europe. Never actually been impressed with Miller anytime he's played us. Not at the moment, Airwolf. I've kind of stopped it at the moment because I just have not got time with everything I've got going on at the moment. Looking ahead to Thursday, obviously this week's been a decent week for the team, hasn't it? We had a good performance against Aberdeen on Wednesday night, a 3-0 victory. That was positive. I think there was a lot of people worried about that game, worried about the fact that we were going to slip up in that game. And there was a concern there because obviously Aberdeen would bang up for it. They'd be, trying their hardest. They'd be playing like prime Barcelona, prime Real Madrid, like they always do against us. But, we played well against them. We got the 3 points. We scored 3 goals. We didn't concede. We did the job. We did the job. And Big Leon scored. It can't get any better than that, can it? If Big Leon puts the ball in the back of the net. But look, I think overall, obviously then again today, a 5-0. Like I said, it's only Fraserburgh. That's about par. We're through to the next round of the Cup. So the Cup draw, by the way, before anyone asks, is tomorrow night at 10 o'clock on Premier Sports 1. Look, we're through in the Cup. Obviously, the thoughts turn to this week. We've got 2 games upcoming this week. Thursday night, we've got Manchester United away at Old Trafford. That is just absolutely huge. That's a proper old school battle of Britain game, isn't it? It really is an old school battle of Britain game. And we'll touch on that in a moment. Then obviously Sunday, we're away versus Dundee United. So 2 huge away games, 2 massive, massive away games. And I'll be honest with you, out of the 2 away games, sitting here now at 9:30 on a Sunday evening, on the 19th of January, I've got to say, the game that worries me most, the game that concerns me most out of those 2 is Dundee United away, because our domestic away form is shocking. Our domestic away form is so, so bad. But our form in the Europa League is actually quite good. So, and our away form in Europa as well is also quite good as well. If you look at our away form in the Europa League, we went to Malmo, got a victory. We went to Nice, got a victory. Went to Olympiacos, got a draw. So, you know what? I honestly believe that, out of those 2 games, the game that kind of worries me the most and scares me the most is Dundee United away. I mean, that is the one that that is the one that worries me and concerns me the most. And yeah, I agree with you. Hamza has to play 4 goals in 4 games, 1 assist, 5 goal contributions in 4 in the Europa League. He's got to play, absolutely. No, absolutely. We should be hanging on to Hamza for as long as possible. And to be fair to Patrick Stewart and to Philippe Clement, they've both said as much. That Hamza's here for the longer term. That he's not going anywhere in this window. I don't think he'll go anywhere in the summer, in particular. The only way Hamza leaves in the summer is if someone comes in with a really stupid bid for him. We're talking 25, 30 million. Then I think you can't turn that down. But look, that's what it is. Airwolf says, beat Man United, lose to Dundee United. It's the Rangers way. Airwolf, it's so Rangers. It would be absolutely pure Rangers. It would be, you know what? This is a real Rangers scenario, Airwolf. We go to Old Trafford on Thursday night. We win 3-0, 3-1, okay? And we play brilliantly. And we do really, really well. Everyone's so impressed with us. And everyone's like raving about Rangers. And then we go away to Tannadice and we lose 2-0 or 2-1 or something like that. Yes, that would be so Rangers, mate. 100%. 100%. Matt Gunner says on Twitch, watch me smash vote with Rangers. There we go. Check out Matt on Twitch. Not watch the reaction from Mark Goldby today. He was raging. I've watched it, mate. He was absolutely raging. He was calling them all the names under the sun. He was absolutely ranting and raving about Onana. I mean, I want to talk about that in a minute anyway. We will obviously build up to the Man United game as we go through. Yeah, absolutely. We do. I think we do need a transfer. We do absolutely. Yeah. Do one. Don't key yourself any club that sets 10 million by the table. Are greedy board. Take it. Look, I really hope not, mate. I hope not, William. Yeah, I know, Bluebells. I know. Like I said to you, Bluebells, if you said to me, Owen, we're going to win 1 game this week and lose 1 game this week, tell me which game we're going to win and which game we're going to lose. And I'll be honest with you, I would say that out of the 2 games, I'm more confident that we can go to Old Trafford in the Europa League and win, like we did when we went to the Westfalen Stadion, that we can get a result there that we can at Tannadice, just because our domestic home form is so bad. It's so bad. Give Igman a new deal, 25 million buyout with 20% sell on. He's happy with a bit more money and he stops any club insulting bids. Yeah, I agree. Good shout, CGM. I wouldn't take any less than 30 mil plus a 20% sell on. I think that's one key thing, Grant and CGM, we've got to insist on if we do go on to sell. Well, no if about it. When we go on to sell Hamza, is that we do insist on putting a sell on in there. I really, really hope that's the case. I really hope that's the case. We really do have to do that. And I think, Niels Coppen is the sort of, I think he is getting wise to this. He is certainly getting very much wise to this. He's 22, mate. 22, yeah. One knows who's that against, Matt? Because Danilo can't play against Man United. I mean, you look at Man United today, and they've lost 3-1 to Brighton, and they were poor. They were appalling. Now, one thing that I kind of picked up from today, from that game, I haven't watched the game, just from what I was hearing from Goldbridge and what I've heard from others, is, to be honest with you, put the ball in the box. Get the ball in the box. Get the ball in the box, because I honestly believe if we get the ball in the box on a regular basis, we can profit, because I don't know if you've seen today's game, the whole game, but just go and watch the goals. Now, if you go watch the goals that Brighton scored, there's 2 things that beat Manchester United, right? The first one is a long ball over the top and pace in behind. You can run in behind their defence so easily. That back 3 has holes in it. Now, for me, I know we haven't got a lot of pace in this team, but Cheney's quite quick. Hamza's quick. For me, the key on Thursday is getting the ball over the top and getting the ball in behind their central defenders, because that's how their first goal comes. Now, the other goals come from crosses into the box. Now, Mark Goldbridge today was talking about their goalkeeper, Andre Onana, and he was calling him Dracula. saying that he was a Dracula on crosses. He's afraid of crosses. If you go and see the goals that they concede today, both the goals they concede today are through absolutely shocking Anana ball. Well, the first one, it's a long ball, it's a ball over, and he just kind of watches it drift to the back post as if watching, I think, was it Mark Goldbridge said, like a dick watching fireworks on New Year's Eve. And the ball drops to the back post, and the guy scores, and he kind of turns and looks at him and goes, oh, he's just put the ball in the net. Oh, interesting. Was I supposed to have done something about that? It's genuinely awful. And the second one was a cross that he goes down to handle, and he just spills it straight to the Bright Gianruta, who scores a goal. And it is absolutely dreadful. Yeah, we will do, mate. We'll support you on Twitch. Everyone support Matt on Twitch, guys. I could see AC Milan wanting money. Is normally what they go for. Interesting shout. Clement spent 16 million, mate. 16 million Clement has spent, by the way, just to pick that one out. I think, that, but like I said, their work from corners is shocking. Absolutely shocking. Funny Hogster. But I'm not scared going into that Manchester United game. I'm not really worried, because look, I mean, yeah, realistically, we are probably going to lose to Man United because they're still quite a very talented team. They've still got some very good players, and no one really expects us to get anything because it's Man United. But I'll be honest with you, I'm more hopeful against them than I am against Dundee United because they are shocking at the moment. They are absolutely, yes, they beat Arsenal in the cup, and yes, they drew with Liverpool at Anfield. But I'll be honest with you, they were shocking today, absolutely shocking. Blue Man U, seeing how he started, horror injury. He's a left winger, not right. He will be a superstar when he gets a good run again. I'm seeing you talk about Anthony there. If Igman or Lionel Richie lookalike goes to the club for plenty of money, it would be like, hello, is it me you're looking for? Very funny, Maze. Very funny. They were the same against Southampton, but they couldn't take their chances, or they'd have been 3-4 up. True. Cortez will be class. Trust me, I really hope so, mate. I really hope so. Optimus Prime, good evening. Good evening. We do need to improve our away form. Who has Clement spent 16 million on? Diamande, Cortez, Proper, Hiefte, Igman, Bayrami. Does that add up to 16 million? Wow. Yeah, it's about 16 million CGM. That's what he spent in the transfer window. Let me bring it up for you. Let me show you. Quickly find transfer market for you. Yeah, guys, this is the site I use. I use this for everything. It's the best site out. It gives you all the facts and figures. It gives you how much team players have played. It gives them how many times they've started. It gives you injury histories. It gives you transfer fee histories. It gives you everything. But yeah, this is our spend. Let me see if I can bring it up on screen for you. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, Baron was 600k. Good shout. He really was. Let's have a look. Here we go. Try and bring it up for you. We share it with you. So this is transfer market. If I can get it up on the screen, if it wants to decide to work. There we go. Let's see what we can get. Here we go. So this is Rangers transfer history. So let's deal with this bit first of all, shall we? Let's do. Whoa. We don't want an advertisement because that could cost me some money. Oh, come on. Don't want to see Serie B transfers. What am I looking at that for? Let's try this again. Google. So Google, let's bring it back up again. This has been a pain in the butt now. Okay, it doesn't want to work. Right, sorry about that, guys. It doesn't want to work. But it's 16.86 million, okay? 16.86 million. Let me just go through it with you. I'm going to have to just read it off my phone because that doesn't want to work, does it? It just does not want to work. Rangers transfers. Okay, so let's bring this up. So who have we bought? So we spent 16.86 million pounds. We got in 2.95 million, which gives us a net spend of 13.91 million. So let me just fill you in on who we've paid money for. So we've paid money. Diamande was £4 million, but Bayrami 3.5, Proper 2.5. Igman, 1.7. Cheney was a 1.5 million loan fee. 800 grand for Hiefte, 600 grand for Connor Barron, and then Kelly and Ciala were frees. Fernandez, Casa, and Wejo were loans. We got money in. We didn't get a lot of money in for players. So, yeah, we spent about 16 million. 16 million. There we go. Also, we've got Hiefte and Igman are really good players who will go on big money for us for sure. Yeah, I think you're right. I think, that Hiefte and Igman are both very good players. I agree with that one. Dio and Proper marks about players. Yeah. Bayrami. Yeah, I agree, William. Bayrami has kind of flattered to deceive a little bit, isn't he? He hasn't been the player that I thought he was going to be, the quality class act that I thought he was going to be. So, yeah, I agree with you on that one. I really do. I really do agree on that one. Okay, guys, everyone check out Matt on Twitch. Matt, stop advertising. I spent a fortune in loan fees for Silva and Cheney as well. It's close to 20 million PC has spent. Jiggy says, I wanted Ross to come off. Then he went and scored. So my thoughts suck. I mean, look, like I said today, you've got to kind of play it in terms of the fact that, it was Fraserburgh we were playing. It wasn't exactly, a top team that we were playing today. But, look, it's a big week. It's a huge week. Now, in terms of that game on Thursday, how do I think he starts that game on Thursday? I think a lot depends on who's fit, so I think a lot does depend on who is actually match fit and who is able to play, because, that is going to obviously influence who gets the start, who gets the game against Manchester United. In terms of how I think we will line up in that game, against Manchester United, I don't think he goes massively gung-ho. I don't think he goes massively, kind of out there and attacks. I could see, I think we really could see a repeat of the team that, he used against Spurs. Something like this, which is now looking silly. Something like this. Let me just bring it up on screen for you. I mean, I think something like this is a possibility. I think if Butland's back and fit, Butland probably starts. If Butland's back, Tav, Balogun, Proper, and Hiefte, I think will be the back four. Barron and Raskin as the two. Cheney, Bayrami, and Ridvan, or it could be Ridvan at left back, Hiefte at left wing. Anything of those two, and Hamza up top. I think that's probably something that he's probably going to go. I don't think he is going to. I don't think he's going to be. He's not going to go with two strikers against Man United at Old Trafford. So he's not going to play Dessers and Hamza same way that he plays Dessers and Danilo and Hamza, in Scotland. He isn't going to go with two up top against Manchester United. He just isn't. He's not going to go open against them, because I think, as bad as Manchester United are, and they really are not a good team at this moment in time. You look at their team that, even if you look at their team that started today, and you look at the players they had on the pitch today, and yes, they lost. Yes, they're not good at the moment, but that's still a decent team that can hurt you on its day. They've got Delict, Maguire, Yoro, Mazrari, Ugarte, Mainu, Dallo, Amad Diallo, Klasak, Bruno Fernandes. There's the Rasmus Højlund. There's a lot of good players in that team. Mate, Dado, I get where you're coming from, but why? Who else is there? Who else is there at the moment to play it right back? And Man United on the left-hand side, if they're going with Diego Dallo and Bruno Fernandes, neither of those two are particularly quick. Dallo tucks in a lot. He's not really a left wing back. And Bruno Fernandes is hardly blessed with blazing speed, and he doesn't really go outside. So I don't think that's, I don't think that's a possibility. And Ciala and Soapy is my choice for centre-half and all of fit. I mean, that's a decent shout. Gaza says, anyone who thinks we're due anything at Old Trafford is mental. It will be a miracle if we get anything, and Big Phil needs the credit he's due for his European results this season. Yeah, look, Gaza, I honestly don't think it's as mental as you make it out. During that Europa League final run, we went to the Westfalenstadion. Yeah, they will, CGM, but what I'm saying is they're actually really shit at the moment. I don't think some people get how very bad they actually are at the moment. They are a really poor side at the moment. They are a really, really poor side at the moment. You know, if you've seen any of them at all this season, they're actually really bad. They're not a good footballing team. Ask any Man United fan about them, and they'll tell you the same thing, that they're not a good side, that they're not a good team at all. So I don't think it's as mad as it sounds. Yeah, I think Hamza can. Maguire is a pretty poor player. Jiggy says, let's lighten the mood. Let's get back to a lookalike convo we had. In my opinion, Dio looks like the weak guy who's not happy with his CD next Friday. Just my opinion if you haven't seen the movie. I haven't actually seen the movie, mate. Haven't seen the movie. What else have we got here? We've got a comment here. They're a team that cannot adapt to the 3-4-2-1 system that Amorim wants to play. No, they can't. They haven't got the players for it. You know, if you look at the team that they play, the 3-4-3 that they play, they haven't got the players for it. They haven't got wing backs. They've got two full backs playing as wing backs, and Mazraoui's not really a wing back, and Dalot is a right back playing left wing back. They've experimented with playing, Anthony there with Diallo as a wing back, and that doesn't really work because they can't defend for shit. So they're not a good team. Guys, I don't think we'll do anything at Old Trafford. We'll have to work for anything we get, and in Europe we work hard. This is the thing. I think, going forward, Europe is a place we do well, and I think we've all said this, and I think we've all kind of alluded to this in what we've said, is that this team is a European team. It's better set up to play in Europe. This team is really set up to kind of be better in the Europa League than it is in the Scottish Premier League. And I think that's why we get those better results. You look at Robin Propper. Propper actually looks a decent defender in the Europa League, whereas he's absolutely shocking in the SPL. So, there is a big difference there, I think. Yeah, rest in peace, Jimmy Calderwood. Absolutely. If Hamza can get Maguire turned, Maguire will be in trouble. Agreed. Man United's midfield is a basket case. It absolutely is a basket case. Yeah. I mean, Maguire is slow on the turn. He's slower than the Titanic on the turn. And like I said, if you go back and you watch the game today, and you watch that, you watch their goals, a lot of it is the ball over the top. Man U's kids embarrassed us pre-season. Let's be real. Playing poorly or not, beating them at Old Trafford is a massive ask. Look, Blue Bars, I'm not saying, we're going to go and win there. I'm just saying I've got more of a positive feeling about that game on Thursday because of the fact that we do well in Europe. We went to Nice, we got a result. We went to Olympiacos. Olympiacos Piraeus at Villa lost there last season. That's a tough place to go and get a result. As I said, it will be a miracle if we get anything. And the reason I said Clement needs credit for it, he does need credit. 100% needs credit for what he's done in Europe. He's done a good job in Europe. And I think, that kind of explains some of the jokes that we've heard about. Let Clement be the European manager and let's bring in Derek McInnes to manage the games in the SPL. That's kind of been the joke, hasn't it? Yeah, and it is a tough place to go. Look, any English club is tough. English clubs are, cash rich. They have the financial resources. They have the might to go anywhere and to do anything. So yeah, I agree with you. It is a tough place to go. Of course it is. And I'm not saying that we're going to go there and win 4-5-0 or 3-0. But what I'm saying is that I think we've actually got a decent chance against Manchester United because they're not good at the moment. They genuinely are not good. Diallo is class. Lammers went to Old Trafford. Twente got a draw. FC Twente got a draw at Old Trafford. So, anything's possible. Anything's possible. But look, we've had a decent week. 2 good wins, a 3-0 and a 5-0. No goals conceded, 8 goals scored. Yes, it was both at home. So now we need to back that up away from home. We need to go away from home in these next 2 games, one at Old Trafford and one at Dundee. And, go and get the results. We need to sort of start to turn this away form round. Now, Rangers need to go down on Thursday night to Old Trafford, to Manchester, and then to Dundee on Sunday. With the exact same intensity we showed against Aberdeen, it's the exact same intensity we showed against Celtic. And I think if we do, then we've got a good chance of getting something at Man United and beating Dundee United. But For me, out of those two games that we've got upcoming this week, that one on Sunday is the biggest one. It is really the biggest one because, yes, realistically, we should have no chance of beating Manchester United. We really should have no chance of beating Manchester United. I mean, Transfer Market lists our squad value at 80 million. It lists Manchester United far in excess of that. Manchester United's squad value currently, according to Transfer Market, sits at, it doesn't want to load, great. I mean, I'd bet it's about 200-300 million. I really would. It's 794 million. 794 million their squad is worth. Just puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? A draw, yeah, absolutely. All these English sides beating Man United would scalp us. Therein lies the problem. Look, yeah, I'm not saying that Rangers in their current guise with their current team wouldn't struggle against Brighton, wouldn't struggle against Liverpool, wouldn't struggle against, Nottingham Forest. But what I am saying is that Man United are not in good form at the moment. They're playing poorly at the moment. And that's why I've got a bit of a hope for Thursday night. Right, guys, that is it for tonight because I am absolutely knackered. I've been at work again all day. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. We'll be back throughout the week. We're back throughout the week, obviously bringing you news, views, and build up to the Manchester United game and obviously to the Dundee United game on Sunday. A couple of last few points before we go. Got Man United tickets for the match. Hope I don't end up in Manchester jail. Owen can bail me out. Yes, Dado, give me a call. I'll be there. The reality is we don't have to beat Man United. We have enough points in the bank already. That's credit to us. Absolutely, CGM. Absolutely. Anything we get against them is a massive, massive boost. Rangers team, one player worth 7 million, the rest 6 million at best, says Gazas. Any team can beat any team. Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree with you, Janet. Any team can beat any team. On any given day, any result can happen. Correct. I give PC credit for the Europa form. I don't give him credit often, but fuck me, people are getting carried away with our Euro potential. Yeah, I mean, Dada, I'm not saying we're going to win the Europa League. I mean, you look at the Europa League as it stands at the moment, and you look at the teams in the Europa League at this current moment in time. Lazio, we don't beat Lazio. Athletic Club, we've got some of the best young players in Spain. Again, Anderlecht, Lyon, who've already beaten us, Frankfurt, Gala, Man United are above us, Tottenham, FCSB, Ajax, Ajax, good team, Sociedad, good team, Roma, good team. There's a lot of good teams in there. There really is. There really is. Anyway, thank you for watching this evening, guys. Please obviously smash the like, sub, and continue to check out the videos, comment and share. And always remember, please never, ever forget, we are the people.